Hey, Project C.A.R.E team, this is Rohan Bansali coming at you live. I'm not coming at you live. I totally recorded this, and this sort of awkwardness is what happens when you try to do something that you're not. So today we're talking about the color code personality test and personalities in general that are involved with your customers and coaches. Now, some of this may seem really like foo-foo and silly, but this is really about understanding yourself and understanding your customers and your coaches. The personality test gives you a color that is associated with the type of personality that you have. You take the test based on how you would have answered the questions as a kid. And it comes up with one of four colors and is amazingly accurate. It's red, blue, yellow, and white. And it's really important because if you interact with people in the wrong way, you're not going to be able to connect with them. For example, I am a blue, almost purely. I have almost no secondary color. I'm almost completely blue, which is interested in developing intimate relationships, very adherent to rules, and expect people to live by sort of a strict moral code. Reds are much more power oriented. So if you're a blue and you expect someone who is independent and powerful to live by a specific set of rules, that may not work. Even worse is you interact with people like who are yellows. Yellows are people who really are motivated by fun. So if you try to take someone who's very, excitable and motivated by fun, like my sister, and try to stick them in a challenge group that is based on rules and relationship, they are going to drop out. So have you ever had this experience? You recruit a new coach, you're very excited, you try to get him started properly, and all of a sudden nothing happens. The coach doesn't do anything. Or you get a new customer who seems very excited to be involved in your challenge group, and all of a sudden she's gone. Well, if you run a challenge group or run a training group or run a coach calls that's all business, and you have someone that's interested in doing the fun part of things, you're going to lose them. You're not going to be able to keep them interested in Beachbody long enough for them to have success. Or if you try a tough love approach with someone who's a white who is really motivated by peace and lack of conflict, you're going to lose that person because they're not going to connect with what you have to offer. So you really have to learn, as they say, to meet people where they're at. And I realize that ends a sentence in a preposition is very annoying, but you have to meet people where they're at. You have to get to their level and be able to interact with them on a level that they understand. So if you have a bunch of people who are yellows, you need to keep the groups fun as well as informative and have some rules. And you may have to recognize that you have to reorient them pretty often. If you have people that are a bunch of whites, then you want to make sure that it's a peaceful group that's there's not a lot of conflict, there's not a lot of drama, and it's something you can get to. And if you have a bunch of blues, you want to make sure you're developing good relationships with them so that they can go ahead and do what they need to do. And if they're reds, leave them alone because they're going to figure everything out on their own. That's just how reds are. So what you're going to do today is take the color code test. The link is in the description of the video down in the text, and answer those questions as you would as if you were as you were a kid, the way you would have answered them when you were a kid. And then let us know if you think that's an accurate description of your personality. And once you do that, what may be very helpful to you is to give this to your coaches or challengers so that you can understand how to interact with them, keep them motivated and engaged until they develop success and are able to do things on their own. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and good luck.